Dun 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 dun, welcome to my channel. Today we are doing an Animal Crossing NPC tier list. It's been a while since I played Animal Crossing, but I'm about to start playing again soon, and I was like, ooh, let me make a tier list. Also, I saw someone else make a tier list, and FOMO, you feel me? Alright, so we are just going to go in order. So we have Celeste. I have never really liked her. I've never really done much with her in any of the games, but I feel like if she was gone, I'd be sad. Well, I wouldn't know that she was gone, but the things that she does have, even though I don't usually utilize her, it would suck if they were gone. So I'm gonna put they're okay. Next is this dude from Halloween, Jack. I am gonna say I like him. I do really like him. I have always been a big fan of the Halloween event and New Leaf, but my favorite is actually, I think, City Folk, if I recall correctly. The New Horizons one, Halloween event, I built up such excitement for it, and when it actually happened, I was like, oh, this sucks. So yeah, I like him. Pascal, I love him. I have always loved him. I don't recall if he's in the original GameCube game. I'm going to say he might be, but I recall him from City Folk and Wild World. You gave him a scallop and he gave you something. I just thought he's like one of those characters where it's like you don't see him often, but he's really cool and I like his character. And to me, that is what Animal Crossing is, a character who just is there and just randomly shows up. I think that's fun. Next is Zipper T Bunny. I'm going to say it's in between love him and like him. I'm going to put like for now. It may change. I think his character is so interesting. Animal Crossing is this perfect, what would you call it, utopia. Zipper T Bunny is one of the few NPCs who absolutely break that fourth wall and they break down the Animal Crossing. Everything's fine. Everything's happy. He's got a zipper on his back. You walk away and he breathes and he stops dancing. I remember in City Folk, I was always so confused by this guy. I was like, I really like him. I like his event, but also why? What's wrong with him? So yeah, I would say I like him. Next is that Mabel? I'm going to say I like Mabel. I think I kind of dislike all of those characters. Honestly, I don't, they're nothing. Sahara, it's in between they're okay and I like them. Sahara is difficult. Sahara, I'm going to say like them because Sahara has been there from like day one. Pretty sure Sahara's been in the GameCube. She also just kind of does her own thing. No, she definitely was in the GameCube. I'm pretty sure. You just had to do something. I don't remember. But pretty much Sahara, it's like, especially in the earlier games from, let's say, GameCube, if she was in there, you have GameCube, Wild World, City Folk. Those three games, you really didn't have much going on. City Folk, you did have the city, but like a majority of the time, you're stuck in the town. And that's something I really get bored of quickly. And when Sahara showed up, you're just like, oh my gosh, just a sense of the outside world, just a sense of like something different. Animal Crossing can be very monotonous in a good and bad way. So she really did break that up. Next one is Chip, I think his name is. I'm going to just say no. He gives off weird vibes. I've never been the biggest fan of his event in him. The one that I do like was, what is that, Franklin maybe? I don't know. Whoever that guy is, I do like him more than Chip. This is Cyrus. I'm gonna say love. I barely remember him, but I know him and Cyrus and Reese had such fun back and forth together, and it really did make that shop. Although that's not it. Isn't that the hairdresser? Whatever. The retail shop, those two made that shop. I think the shop is great itself, but like they really made it, so I would say I love him. Blanca, I think her name's Blanca. I'm gonna put her in love. In GameCube, she creeped me out, but then I was also so intrigued by her where you could draw on her face. I love how cool she is. And it's like every game I feel like she almost does something different. It's just very fun. And New Leaf, she had the best role, I think. This guy, I'm going to say he's okay. Not the biggest fan of him. I think those, I don't know. I feel like with the newer counterparts like Flick and CJ, I actually like them better, which I guess I'll talk about. Tom Nook. I'm going to say, this is hard. I both really love Tom Nook, but then I love Tom Nook. I'm going to say really. I think in New Horizons, I don't like a lot about New Horizons, but I do believe New Horizons has one of the best Tom Nook NPCs. They're all the same guy, in my opinion. There's just one Tom Nook. But in New Horizons, I really feel like you really get to know Tom Nook much more than other games. His personality shines. He's both a businessman and also just a kind gentleman. So I would say I really love him. He's one of those characters, to me, obviously, is the face of Animal Crossing. So Reed, but I think his name is Red. I go between Reed and Red with his name. I'm gonna say I like them. Crazy Red has just been once again. A lot of these characters do depend on how often I've seen them and how often I've interacted. Plus, how I feel about them. But he's one of those characters, has been here since game 1, and I do like him. Yeah, I would say I like him. I like all the things he does, and he's not here super often, but the things he does help with, I think it's nice. The Snow People, that's such a strange, I don't even know why they're added. New Horizons, I don't know if you can make the mom and the snow boy. Aren't they just snow dads? Or maybe I've only just made perfect ones. I'm gonna say I like them. I do. I actually do or did talk to them a few times. You know, it's always fun. Daisy May, I feel like Daisy May doesn't have as much heart as Joan, right? So maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna say Daisy May's okay. Don't particularly like her character design, and I don't particularly like her character either. What's her name? Pelly, I think. I love Pelly. Peggy, that's Peggy. And then that one's Peggy. I do really love Peggy, though. I remember as a kid, when I first saw her, I was just like, wow, that is an angry bird. But I really do like her. Next to CJ, I actually really, it's like I more than like CJ, but I don't love him. So yeah, I do like CJ, definitely. Next one is, what is this man's name? I keep saying Brewster. I don't know. The museum guy, I do like him. Once again, he's been here since the beginning. You don't interact with him too much, but once again with New Horizons, I do feel like I've gotten to see his personality shine a bit more. So no, I do like him. Next is, are you Franklin? Or are you Franklin? This is the turkey. Franklin the turkey? Maybe him? I will be so completely honest. I didn't ever do the Thanksgiving event in New Horizons. I think I've only done this event in New Leaf once, maybe. I don't think I've ever done it in the GameCube, Wii, or DS. I don't know much about him. So I'm going to say he's okay, though. I do recall. He's okay. Yeah. Believe it or not, the game that I have the most hours in out of every Animal Crossing game is City Folk. So when I look at him, he just reminds me of City Folk. Next is Lyle. I really like Lyle. He's just one of those nostalgia things. Next is Gracie. I think I love her. Like, I really love her. She has been here since the beginning. She is so slay. She's done different things in pretty much every game. The one that I think she's had the most personality, I don't know. Is Gracie even in New Horizons? Because isn't it LaBelle? LaBelle who does this one? I just know she and City Folk and New Leaf, that's where she shined. Actually, City Folk is where she shined the most. I don't know. I need to look into that. Next is this guy, Gulliver. I'm going to put him in. Okay, he's on the cusp of no. I don't know why. I cannot explain it. I don't like this man. I have never really liked his little activities in New Horizon. I've never cared about him. What did he even do in New Leaf? He would just roam around the beach. And then maybe he had I don't know. Just, I always thought he was annoying, but it was also just like a bit of a FOMO where it's like, oh my God, if I don't do it now, I'm not going to get the reward. I think with this one, you just had to guess the game he came from. Or maybe the location in New Leaf. Next one is Harvey. I'm going to say I actually really love Harvey. I know that sounds crazy. He was introduced in, I'm pretty sure, New Leaf with the DLC, Welcome Amiibo DLC upgrade thingy freebie. And I really liked his character. You know, he's more fleshed out, I think, in New Horizons. And he was in a bit of promotional material as well. So yeah, I do quite like him, I think. Phineas, I don't know if he's in New Leaf. I'm going to say love him. I really love him, but I'm just going to say for the fact that I don't even know if he's in New Horizons. I do love him though. New Leaf, I don't know if he's useful anymore in New Leaf. The problem is he was really helpful when you would travel online, I think. DLC, maybe? Where's Wendell? I guess they don't count Wendell at all because this might just be an Animal Crossing. I don't know. Interesting. Next is Jingle. I'm going to say I like Jingle. I've actually done Jingle more than I've done Jingle more than I've done the Halloween guy, but I've done more of the egg guy than I've done Jingle, just because I don't think he's tied to anything, and I'm more free during his time. Christmas, it is during a break, so I usually won't have time. Halloween, I'm normally at like Halloween parties or something. Digby, I love Digby. I loved him, and I think he was obviously introduced in New Leaf because he is Isabel's brother. I love him. He was in a few spinoffs, I think. Next is CJ. I'm gonna put him right here. Actually, I think I love CJ. No, not CJ. Flick. I think I love Flick. Just the way that he loves bugs so much. It is crazy. He's a very cool character. I do like some of these new characters that New Horizon has introduced. Okay. Obviously, the Queen, Isabel. I love her. You know, it's really difficult to introduce new characters into a game, especially a new character that essentially is going to have a super big role. Like, Isabel essentially took over Tom Nook's role. Tom Nook was the it guy who you went to, who you dealt with. And then eventually in New Leaf, Isabel was that new first runner NPC. And she is now one of the main faces of Animal Crossing, which, I don't know, I think is very interesting, and they did it really well. Her character is like, I don't know how to describe her. She's both positive and comfortable with things, but still is able to like flatter you, the player, which I find very interesting. Yeah, in New Leaf, New Horizons, she definitely has more of a muted role. Where I feel like Nook has definitely taken over as that number one NPC again, but she's still there. She's sadly just, I don't know, like the announcer at a certain point, but yeah. If you didn't know, one of my favorite characters, well, first of all, one of my other favorite characters is not even here. The monkey from the game. The monkey, what is his name? Whatever. He is one of my favorite characters, and my second or I guess my first favorite character is actually Rover. I have loved Rover since day one. Since I saw her, I was like, slay. I love him so much. I really do. I've gone to Japan twice. I've gone to the Nintendo Tokyo store 3 to 4 times within that trip. And I've only purchased one Animal Crossing stuffed animal. I love stuffed animals, but I didn't want to waste money on something and someone who I didn't like, right? If I didn't like this character, I don't want a stuffed animal of you. I only have one stuffed animal, and it is Rover. I love it. He's wearing the same shirt in this video as he is as a stuffed animal, and I love him. Love him so much. My next character on the list is Pave. I actually do love Pave. I think Pave's a guy. I think so. Not that that matters. There's like a lore thing I forgot. Apparently Pave was supposed to be a female somewhere. I forgot which game Pave is a female in or isn't. I think in Japan, somewhere in one of these countries, they were like, we can't have a dude. It was something like that. I don't know. I forgot what it was. I would like to find it. Next one is Pelly. I would say I really love her. And I love Pete. They're just so wholesome. You look at them and it's just like, I don't know, I love it. Rossetti, I would say I do love Rossetti. You know, I think his character is really interesting. New Leaf is one of the first games that introduces the option of not having Rossetti there when you reset your games. You have to build his Rossetti like underground sewer thing, and then you'll be able to have him. But like if you don't want to add him, you just don't place the sewer, which I find so very fascinating. Next one is Reese. That's Cyrus. This is Reese. I'm gonna say I love her. That's it. Next one is Mabel, I think. I'm going to say I like her. Also, I'm going to put Sable into the love. I like Mabel, but I love Sable. I don't know. I like her character development, but it's just like overall, I wouldn't say I love her. Shrunk, I do actually really like him. I really like his character in City Folk. I think City Folk is my favorite version of him. I like him in New Leaf as well. You know, you have to chat with him and help him a bit. New Horizons, I don't even know if he's in New Horizons. Next one is LaBelle. I'm gonna put like. I'm gonna put her in the high like. Yeah, I know I really do like her. There's not much to say. I think she's just kind of slay. The next one is Kix. I love Kix. If there was a Kix stuffed animal when I was there probably was. I would have gotten it. I loved him in City Folk. I loved him in New Leaf. I love that he had his... Speaking of that, where's Leaf? Why is Leaf not on here? What the frick? Joan, I do like her. Katrina, she's fine. I've never been the biggest fan. Timmy and Tommy, I'm going to say I do love them. I've gotten to really enjoy them more. Okay, so Harriet, the Shampoodle. I would have put her really loved if she didn't turn all hippie in New Horizons. But yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching.